My hair looks so messy right now because of this quarantine. This is kind of ridiculous. Assassin's Creed has been a franchise that I've been with since the original way back in 2007. The game has provided me with so much entertainment over the years, with incredible stories through the characters like Ezio, Altair, and Edward Kenway, as well as the incredible multiplayer mode that was introduced way back in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood that I spent a ton of time playing with my friends, which is still, surprisingly active. More recent titles like Unity and Syndicate have kind of diminished the hype around Assassin's Creed, but the revitalization that Origins and Odyssey brought in when introducing RPG elements like a true open world, a perk and level up system, a gear system, as well as a bunch of side quests, have helped bring the hype back for Assassin's Creed. Why am I talking about it? If you guys didn't hear, Ubisoft just announced their most recent Assassin's Creed project. They started on Wednesday of this past week with an art piece of the setting, which it was a super long stream, but it was incredible to watch. I watched it while doing work, and it was just super fun to see the setting come to pieces, and I did get to glean some information from it, which is cool. It ended with the reveal of the character, and then it's announced that the day after, which was Thursday at 11 a.m., there was going to be a cinematic trailer that was going to give us a little bit more context. So, what is the project? The project's name is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. AC Valhalla is going to take place in the Anglo-Saxon period, which is an incredibly long period of history, but judging from the declaration of war we see at the end of the cinematic trailer, we can kind of pin down where it is. We might even be able to pin down who that guy signing the declaration is. If you guys are interested in that time period, there is a TV show that goes on in that time period. I forget the name of it completely. If I find it, I'll put it on the screen right here, but I don't know if I will. Don't get your hopes up. Now, because we only have a cinematic trailer and an art piece and the name, and that's about it, I can only speculate on what the game's content might be, and I'm going to do exactly that. But I do want to give a little bit of context for the game's release schedule first. The game is set to come out in holiday 2020, which is a lot sooner than we thought, and judging by the cinematic trailer, it's going to come out as a launch title on the Xbox Series X, which is going to be pretty cool, but we don't know if the game's going to be optimized for the newer hardware or not. It's anyone's guess. So with all of that and coming out in holiday of 2020, I'm expecting us to get more information regarding actual gameplay around the time E3 normally is. I don't think E3 is happening. If it is, someone can correct me in the comments below, but I think we're going to get information about the project in about, a month or so, come June-ish. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump right in to what I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to give us come the holiday season. Recent Assassin's Creed titles like Origins and Odyssey have been incorporating RPG elements into the world, like a true open world, a gear system, a perk progression system with like level ups and side quests. So I expect that trend to continue. In the main trailer, we also see the character, who I assume is the main character, using 2 axes, dual wielding them, and then also in the art piece he's holding 1 axe kind of like this. And so I expect us to get one-handed and two-handed axes, typical of Viking stuff. But, like I said, because there's a gear system, I also expect returning weapons like hammers or some type of blunt object, some blunt weapon, swords, and probably spears, because the English use spears, so why wouldn't you kill an Englishman, take a spear, and then you have that? It's unclear if we're going to get shields. I kind of want to think we are, because shields are kind of essential to how Vikings typically fought and how they're depicted. It's normally like an axe and a shield, or a broadsword and a shield, something like that. So I expect those to come in at some point as well. It's also notable that our character does have a hidden blade right off the start, at least in the trailer, albeit it is a bit different than what we normally think of when we think hidden blade in Assassin's Creed. Origins did have a hidden blade, and it was featured kind of prominently, and it obviously showed the whole lose your ring finger to use the blade thing. And Odyssey didn't include a hidden blade up until a later DLC, so neither of the games really featured it super prominently, instead focusing on other weapons available. Obviously, in Odyssey, it revolves around the Spear of Leonidas, which is the weapon that you always get and allows you to use your basically your superpowers. In Origins, it revolved around the rest of your kit, whether that be the Khopesh or the bow or something like that, although the hidden blade was always a tool available to you. I'm unsure if this game is going to keep the trend of not emphasizing the hidden blade. Because it's Vikings, I almost want to assume so, but what's interesting is the hidden blade is used differently, so that application might be switched and we might get something new. Typically, if you know the hidden blade, we know that it, you flex your wrist and it comes out below your wrist, But in the trailer, we see the main character use the hidden blade. He either flexes his wrist down or something, and the blade extends over his hand. It also looks like a really rough blade, which is more sturdy, kind of more like a dagger instead of just like a typical needle that we normally get. So the moveset might be changed and whatever. So I'm expecting that to be incorporated somehow into the game. I don't know if there's going to be upgrades to it or if there's going to be different types of hidden blades or something like that. But I do know the hidden blade is in the game, and I'm excited to see how the Viking culture utilizes the hidden blade, and also if it's like a frowned upon thing or not. We don't know. Speaking of the main character in Viking culture, your main character seems to be a warrior or a leader of some sort of Viking clan. You can see him leading raids, and you can see him participating in the front line on the battlefield. Because he's the leader of a clan, we might see the Brotherhood/Revelation style of building your Brotherhood up, except it'll be like building a clan, which would be kind of interesting. Or because it's a wartime period, your character might be going around uniting the clans and building up a Viking army to defend against the English. That would be kind of a cool thing to see. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but it's something that I would like to see. And also, Vikings are seafaring people normally. We see them on long ships. We see that in the trailer. So naval combat I expect to come back, as well as naval exploration. Also something, I kind of want to see the Black Flag fleet system come back. For people who don't know, the Black Flag fleet system was just a way for you to make passive income and do missions on the side. It was a really good way to make money. I want to see them take it a step further. You can actually, I think you should be able to take the long ships in your fleet and send them off to foreign settlements to raid them for supplies. You can get loot that way, you can get supplies that way, and then you can flip them or use them to build up your army or feed your people, something like that. Or, if you want to go even further, you set up a raid on your long ship, they go do that, and then that triggers a real mission that your character then has to go to. You have to go to that settlement. If there's like a defense there, you go to the settlement, meet up with your NPCs, and you just raid that settlement or that town or whatever it is to get the supplies. Maybe you can recruit people, maybe you're saving prisoners, something like that. Because I think you can really play into the wartime element, and you can really play into the Viking culture that we normally see. You can really play into the raiding things. You can really play into the building an army with clans. I would really like to see some of that and explore some of those systems. So, Ubisoft, if you're listening, because it's an Assassin's Creed game, we're obviously going to have some stealth mechanics, so we're probably going to be able to crouch again, probably going to be able to run up and stab people with the hidden blade. But I also want the ability to just run in and crush people with brute force, because I am a Viking. I want to be able to run in and just whack, The trailer also directly mentions Odin, who, if you don't know, is the father of Thor and Loki and the ruler of Asgard, which is the Norse pantheon. We see an old man, and then the old man gets wiped over by another person. They walk across him. Old man turns into a raven. Your character shouts, "Odin is with us," and then that inspires the Vikings. If you're interested in Norse lore, I recommend the 2018 PS4 title, God of War. It goes over Norse lore as well as tying in other pantheons, and it also has incredible characters, incredible world, incredible story, and incredible combat. It is a game I plan on talking about, and when Santa Monica announces their next title for God of War, wherever that will be, I'm going to be covering that as well. So if you guys are interested in those, let me know down below. Quick shameless plug. If you guys are interested in keeping up with the channel, I recommend subscribing and punching the notification bell. That way you know when a new video goes live. You can also follow me on Twitter. I tweet out whenever a video goes live. You can find the link to that down below. To talk further about the mention of Odin, I do expect for this game to have some sort of Norse mythology tie-in. Obviously, in Origins we had an Egyptian myth tie-in, and in Odyssey we have a Greek myth tie-in. So I expect Norse myth to be a part of it. I kind of want to see the mythological beast system from Odyssey come back, where you're able to fight creatures that are typically, they're not real, like Medusa and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. Norse myth is pretty undervalued, I think, and obviously there's monsters and characters that we could fight that would be really interesting. So kind of expecting to see some of that. There's also the chance that Odin is an Isu member. If you guys don't know, I don't blame you. Isus are like the forerunners of the AC universe. They're the ones who built all the crazy technology. They're the civilization that came before. If you guys know the Apples of Eden that were featured in the Ezio trilogy, you guys know the Isu made those, okay? So that's all it is. They also made Leonidas' spear, but that's, different. I also know the Isu take the names of deities. So take into effect that the main one that we meet is Juno. Juno is a really big one that we meet. Jupiter is also one that we know. Poseidon is mentioned in Odyssey. they take the names of gods, right? Why wouldn't they take Odin? Odin is kind of the god of knowledge in terms of Norse. He's the one who sacrificed his left eye to gain knowledge from the Tree of Life. He's the one who goes off on quests for, ever gaining knowledge, and he's also the god of like warriors and poets and stuff like that. He's the god of a lot of things. He's Odin. But I expect the Isu to come back. I don't know in what capacity. I don't even know if that's true or not, if they will. Maybe they'll just be actual gods. Maybe we'll just forget the modern part of Assassin's Creed and just play through Viking history. That would be cool. That would be really cool. So those are my current thoughts on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I think this video might be a little bit shorter than normal. I try to keep my videos at around 12 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I go over. I know all of this is speculation and has zero basis in anything because all we have is a piece of still art and a cinematic trailer that shows us really nothing. But I hope that I'm able to at least influence some people and kind of get my thoughts out there, because I really do think that there's some good ideas in this video. I think the fleet system could really be expanded upon from Black Flag. I really think that there should be the Brotherhood system, revamp that, build up an army, build up clans. I think you could really turn this into a true RPG that people would actually enjoy. That way people wouldn't, complain that Assassin's Creed is becoming too RPG-y when the last two games were actually incredible. With all that said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. It truly does help me. I'm doing this kind of to get out of my boredom during quarantine, but knowing that people actually subscribe to me, even if they are just close friends, people are watching it. My first video has like 31 views, which is more than I thought it would ever get, really, especially because it was my first video and the one that I think is kind of the roughest. That being said, my last video, the one over remakes, didn't do too hot, and I think I know why, but I'm not going to go into it here. But if you guys are interested in knowing how remakes are made and what goes into them and why remakes are being so popular and how to make good remakes, I recommend checking out that video. It is kind of long, but, it has a decent amount of content in it. Thank you all so much for watching. Every subscriber and every view, every like really helps me out. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like to let me know that you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you guys want to engage with me or if you have questions. You guys can also do that on Twitter. I'll put the link right here and also in the description down below. My other social media is down there as well. If you guys want to follow me on there to know when I go live, when my content goes up, and just my thoughts on general things, you guys can do that there. Make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with me on the channel. Punch the notification bell if you guys want to keep up and know exactly when a video goes live without following me on social media, which you should do anyway, but I'm not you. Whatever. I want to thank you guys again. I know I thanked you for watching earlier, but this is something different. I want to thank you for keeping me busy and keeping me, actually doing things. I play video games by career at this point. I'm a QA tester, so I play Fortnite day in, day out, basically 5 days a week, sometimes 6, depending if I need it, but thankfully we haven't had that yet. But I play it so much, sometimes the last thing I want to do when the day is over is pick up a controller and play games again. Sometimes I just want to watch YouTube and just, But YouTube has allowed me to do research, it's allowed me to write scripts, it's allowed me to keep busy, and people are enjoying the videos, even if they are just my close friends who are doing it, just to make me feel good. But I appreciate it, I really do. Anything to keep me busy through this time really helps. Thank you all so much. I hope to see you guys at the end of this video. I hope you guys watched this far. Until next week, when the next video goes live, I will see you all, I don't know where. When quarantine is over, maybe I'll come visit again. Thank you for watching.